Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another sexy little episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you all on this chilly little Tuesday morning. Oh my goodness. Hope all of you guys have been well. Hope you've been taking care of yourself. I know I have. No exciting updates or life updates. I just truly have been on my winter grind, which has been very nice to just be consistent to myself, to, show up for myself for once. God damn, I didn't think it would take, 26 years of my life to get there. But it does. It does. If you guys don't know, I've been on my TikTok grind recently. I don't know. I've entered a manic state where I'm like, I don't care. I'm just going to post everything that's on my mind. And not in an unhealthy way. Like, girl, we don't want to hear about that. More so in what I would like to perceive is a hopeful and inspirational way. And I posted the other day and I was like, you know what? Being an adult is hard, but it will never be harder than being 14 years old. And I stand by that. Every single time I am in just like the throes of adulthood of, oh, fuck, this bill came up. Oh my God, this surprise financial thing. Oh my God, this job thing, life thing, whatever you want to characterize it under. There's many hard adult things. I think and I go, you know what though? I'm not as miserable as I was at 19. When I was going through my first ever puberty, practically losing my goddamn mind, locked up in an insane asylum, yeah, life will never be that hard. And at least you can hold on to that hope. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going a little insane, but at least I'm mentally stable and I'm not 14 years old. And I stand by that 10 toes down. It's a great just like perspective switch. When I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's cold out. I'm just not feeling it. Oh, I wish. It's like, yeah, girl, things could be worse. So get your ass up and fucking get to work, Oh, and how lucky are we to live the lives and the dreams of our 14-year-old self. Every year, you enter that phase of, let me look back on life. How did this year go? Oh my God, it flew by. What did I even do? What the hell even went on? Oh my God, was it horrible? Was it amazing? Did absolutely nothing happen? And every year I look back and I realize, ooh, I checked one thing off of the box, many boxes, very long to-do list that young Hannah had. And I think that is beautiful as well, where it's like, you know what? No matter the chaos that went on in the year, no matter how hard it was, how easy it was, whatever it may be, every year I check one more thing off that list, whether it's this year, like going to Japan. Wow. Starting horseback riding lessons. Fantastic. Getting my own apartment. Oh my goodness. Being self-sufficient off my art. Like, the dreams that young Hannah had are coming true. The dreams that you had are probably coming true as well. You just got to open your eyes and take a look around sometimes and be like, damn, I really did that thing. Sure, being an adult is hard, but it is so worth getting to live out the dreams that I had when I was younger, to live out those fantasies that I had. I'd be laying in bed, staring at the moon in my little twin-size bed. Danger, yes, still curled up on my lap because he is my cat for life. I love him so much. And going, damn, I wish I could do this. I can't wait to move here. I can't wait to just be on my own. It's so interesting knowing that I was doing that and then knowing I am where I am now, being able to do these things. It's a blessing. It is so beautiful. And growing up and getting to live another year truly is just so wonderful. No matter what happens. And best believe this year really fucking tried me. Good news is I think 2026, oh my God, will be better for all of us. It will. And we'll get into that, the numerology of it all, the zodiac of it all, the astrology of it all here shortly. But hopefully that was a little dose of inspiration for you all as we begin. Before we dive into all of your guys' questions, just to kind of open your eyes, take a look around, stop taking things for granted. Sure, things can be difficult, but what are you living out that you had once dreamed of? What are you now living out? And where can you extend just a little bit of gratuity and thankfulness? Pre-holiday season, things are heating up. Things are getting busier. I spent all week running around doing all the shopping I could possibly do for my niece, my nephew. I still have presents I need to go get for my boyfriend, for my parents, for friends. I'm like, oh my goodness, life's getting crazy. I also have to plan like food that I gotta cook. Oh my goodness. Pre-Christmas is always just so chaotic, and I do appreciate having holidays in the fall and winter that help us just kind of move forward and to help time pass a little faster, because my God, is it moving slow as hell. But also, like, I could do without the stress. I really could do without the stress that is just not needed. And I feel like this year, did anybody else feel this way? Let me know down below. That Thanksgiving felt like Christmas this year. Something about Thanksgiving felt like, oh my God, the big event of the winter, when Christmas in reality should be that big event of the winter. And now I'm just exhausted and tired and ready to move on as if it is the new year. And I really am not ready for the real Christmas to happen. I mean, sure, holiday whimsy, holiday joy, all that stuff. But there's something about Christmas this year I feel like it's lacking. Maybe it's the recession. Maybe it's ICE grabbing people out of the fucking streets. Like, there's so many crazy, chaotic things going on right now that are just like not good. It's like, it's really killing the whimsy in people. And I know this because I'm like out and about interacting with people on the street. Like, oh my goodness, going to the big tree lighting. And it's like, oh, half the people are there that are usually there. It's like, oh my God, where is the joy? Like, I understand it's dead, but like, it's a good reminder in myself to be like, okay, cultivate joy within myself, and also like outreach to community and cultivate joy within community. I actually had a question on the Patreon podcast, and it was someone who was like, I have nothing to do. I'm unemployed. I'm looking for jobs. I have nothing to do. I feel like I'm giving back nowhere. I feel like my life is on hold. It's making me feel bad about myself. I can't even enjoy the holidays because it's like, oh my God, nothing's going on. And to that, I would like to encourage all of you guys. It was so nice to kind of like switch up the pace and really put things into perspective, is community outreach. Okay? Go work at a food pantry for a day. It'll really put some fucking things into perspective and kind of make you establish a little bit more joy about your life, and also a little bit more joy about interacting with the community around you. Go, if you don't like people, okay, I get it. Go work or volunteer at a local pet rescue. You know, go cuddle with the dogs, go foster a dog this holiday season. Go out and pick up trash off of your street. Little things like that, I think, are what we are missing, which is what is lacking within the joy of this Christmas particularly, is the act of giving back and the act of being thankful for what we have. I feel like we get so caught up, especially with like the consumerism of the holidays, where it's like, but I need this thing, but I need this thing. If I don't have the new iPhone, I'm not happy. If I don't have the new crazy 2-piece set or what the hot girls are wearing, then I'm not happy. If I don't have the newest makeup, then I'm not happy. And it's like, oh my God, how exhausting. It's so exhausting to live that way. And I know this because I have lived that way. Listen, I'm not immune to consumerism. Girl, I live in America. It's fed to us. It's hard not to give into it, you know, of course. But it is really never gonna make you happy. It's never gonna make you happy. Shocker. Shocker right there. It is never going to satisfy that itch you have in your soul. But you know what will? Going to your local food pantry and volunteering. We have one here that I went with my mom to, and what they do is they get donated a bunch of produce and food that maybe is not perfect for the stores and the shelves in the stores, because, oh, this apple has a little blemish. Oh, this pear is shaped oddly, or it's like massive or really small. You know, there's like teeny tiny little imperfections that to me, I'm like, bitch, I'll eat that fucking banana. I don't care. But the stores are like, we don't want it because it's just not going to sell on the floor. The people are going to be wanting the best looking produce possible. Do you know how much food waste occurs in this country? Especially working in a restaurant, I see so much of it. Luckily, my most recent one, not so much, but especially like the big corporate restaurants, oh my God, they're wheeling out multiple trash cans every night of perfectly good food that just, they're like, oh, well, technically we can't use it anymore. And I understand health, safety, all those things. Love it. Fantastic. But really being in there and going through all this produce and realizing how much of it goes to waste, and now new perspective, how much of it actually gets to go to people's mouths, it actually gets to be fed to people. It was just a really nice, humbling experience. And if you can indulge in any sort of like community outreach or any sort of like giving back to your community this holiday season, I think it is a fantastic way to inspire joy and whimsy within your life, and to kind of realize, oh yeah, there's bigger things than what I have going on, and that can be beautiful as well. If you need an easy dose of that, maybe you can't leave the house, maybe you can't do any of these things, you're too busy, watch It's a Wonderful Life. Oh my God, best Christmas movie ever. I remember every single year, every Christmas Eve, my mom would put It's a Wonderful Life on, and I would sit back and roll my eyes and go, Mom, I'm not watching this depressing ass black and white fucking Christmas movie. Okay, Christmas movies are not supposed to make me want to start sobbing. You know, I'm 4 years old. I'm like, black and white? No, thank you. Like, what? Girl, turn on SpongeBob. Like, I'm begging. But now that I'm older and I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, she was so right. It is the best Christmas movie to ever exist. It is just such a well put together movie that makes you think about the complexities of life and makes you appreciate the simplicities, because that's what truly matters. And if you are like, I'm bored, I have nothing to do right now, or you're getting off work and you just had the worst shift of your life. My boyfriend last year, Christmas Eve, his car, brand new car, got smashed into, broken into. 11 p.m. at night. He's trying to, getting off his 12-hour shift, going back to his car, smashed into, destroyed. I'm like, okay, we're going home and we're watching It's a Wonderful Life because you need a dose of like, shit sucks, but don't worry. Like, it really has such a powerful way of flipping around your perspective, new perspectives, okay? So that's my little spiel on holiday joy and whimsy. I'm doing the best I can to power through this holiday season and try and just, make the best of it. But I think right now what I'm most proud of is just staying on routine of going to yoga, doing my hobbies, painting, making sure I'm taking care of myself, hot tea instead of alcohol. It's like, whoa, things are shifting in my brain, and thank God, because they needed to. But I'm just trying to stay on that kind of health kick, health track. So I am on the right path for 2026. But with that being said, enough of me rambling. Sorry I just get on here and ramble at the beginning of the podcast. Sometimes I'm like, is this boring as hell? Y'all let me know down below. Best believe I can adjust. But I think it's nice to kind of share some insight, especially with just like new things I am involving in my life. Hopefully they can inspire you to involve some new things, new exciting things, or new perspectives in your own. That's truly all I could ever want to give to you guys. But with that being said, let's get to your guys' questions. If I never get to your guys' questions, so sorry. There are literally thousands of them every single week. So I try and pick out ones that I feel like are being asked like often. I get repeat questions, and I feel like that is just the collective energy, what we're all experiencing coming forward. And so I try and stay as, equal energy as what everybody could be experiencing at this point in time. But if you have a dire question in need of answering, join the patreon.com/smokeseshshotty. I answer your guys' questions, every single question, every single week On top of that, Monday inspiration, Sunday spirit. I have a lot of, activities and things that I'll be posting for this upcoming new year. Last year, I did the 13 wishes, which each day leading up to the new year, you have a wish, you burn it, and on the 13th day, which is supposed to be the new year, you open it up and that is your goal for the year. Fun. If you need more details, don't worry, that will be up on the Patreon. I'm thinking now, I need to look back and see if I actually completed that because life got a little crazy this year. We'll see. That'll be a fun thing for next week as we do all of the New Year's recap things. But there's a lot of questions to get to. So Hannah, enough of you rambling. Let's see what's going on in the world around us. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm so over this year. I need to look forward to next year. I don't know. This year was literally so challenging. First 5-6 months of the year, I was dealing with Danger and his health issues, which I'm so thankful to be able to have a cat and take care of him and financially afford him. And now that he's healthy, I'm so glad that I went on that journey and, followed through with it and really looked for all the answers. But that really ate up the first 4 months of my life. And then it was my birthday. And I don't know, looking back on my birthday, I had a good one. I went out with friends during the day, but it was kind of a bust. And then after that, I had an extreme anxiety condition all of summer because I had developed OCD tendencies about my cat and worrying about health that made me really majorly freaked out, and not in a hot sexy way, in a recluse way. Also, my car got stolen. Also, then it was oh shit, time is moving too fast. Then it was Japan, which was good and bad in many different ways. And now, oh my God, it's almost Christmas. This year has been crazy chaotic. And I really think that it was kind of the trials and tribulations that we needed to go into the next year with a really, really solid mindset. This next year, in the Chinese zodiac, it is the year of the horse. Yes, numerally, it is a 1 year. So it is a beginning year. So with that energy of the year of the horse, which, I think can extend out from individual to community wise. Sometimes horses are in herds. Sometimes they're just a lone wolf in a sense, but they are moving ever so quickly at their own pace instinctually. They have that drive, that power to be able to take them where they want to go. Also, with it being a beginning year, a 1 year, it's really giving us this air of newness and fresh start in a way that maybe is not hopeful, but it's we're fucking fed up. And I think that energy is sometimes more inspiring than the hopeful energy can be, Because with the hopeful energy, sometimes there's this naivety where it's rainbows, butterflies, and everything fantastic with sprinkles on top. And it's okay, love that. But also sometimes we got to get fucking real about life. And I think this year made us all very real about life. Fuck the nonsense. Fuck the noise. Lock in. Focus on yourself. What do you want? What do you want to go after? And 2026 is providing us the basis and the fresh start that we all need, especially after this year. I don't know. Everybody I talk to, they're this year was crazy. It flew by, but I faced trials and tribulations that I haven't faced in years. I faced things that I didn't even know were coming after me. Hectic, crazy, chaotic. Nobody knew what was happening ever at any point in time. We all were just kind of trying to do our best. And I notice this in the collective because as I interact with the general public, I can feel their energy now, mid-December. People are fed up. They're tired. They're majorly over it. And you know what? Me too, girl. Me fucking too. I need this fresh start. I need this new energy. Year of the horse girl, major horse girl here. I'm ready. Put me on bareback. Send me flying down that pasture, bitch. I'm ready to go. In fact, my horseback riding lessons were canceled this morning and it made me want to rip my hair out. I love it. It's so fun. But oh my goodness, this cold weather. I'm like, I just want to be outside living my life. So if you were faced with just like unimaginable things that, haunted your wildest dreams this past 2025, do not worry. I think we're getting set up for something that can be very beautiful and wonderful if we know how to alchemize it. And to alchemize this new energy, this new start, this like unabashed, completely intuitive energy that 2026 is providing, we gotta look inwards. We have to look inwards. No more distracted by the noise. No more, oh, this situationship that I wasted 2 years of my life on. Huh? Wasted 2 years of your life on? Wasted 6 months of your life on? Wasted 3 months of your life on? Girl, like, no more fucking distractions. I've noticed this a lot too. A lot of the Patreon people are like, I'm not smoking weed anymore. Like, I'm quitting weed. I'm quitting alcohol. I'm quitting these substances that are bad for me because they're just distractions and I need to be locked in and focused. Sure, we can have some fun here and there. I get it. But also, like, being dissociative 24 hours a day for 365 days a year, that's a waste of time. Yes. And I understand why people are getting fed up with that kind of habit that they're putting on. The phone addiction of it all. They're like, oh my God, the distractions aren't even that fucking fun. I'm just scrolling, and it's mind numbing and I'm drooling on my phone and I'm not learning anything. I get it. People are getting fed up. I'm getting fed up. You're getting fed up. And I love it. I love it because this is the kind of energy that you see rumbling and happening before there's a renaissance. And I think 2026 will be a renaissance year for us all. And I think that's really beautiful. I think it'll be a renaissance in the art. Everybody's over AI. We don't give a fuck about AI. And I think we're going to see more fine art pop up. These are my predictions for the year. This is all just very intuitively focused. Fine art is going to pop up. Art galleries, creating with your hands, merchants, okay? Going to farmers markets for your produce instead of going to like big grocery stores. Really focusing on where things are coming from, getting into like the roots of it all, not physically, well, maybe physically, but more so like focused on handmade, thoughtful instead of mass production. I think we're gonna see a lot of people become merchants in their own sense, where it's like maybe financially you're not succeeding or you're over your fucking cubicle job, so you start this business, or you start creating, you start painting, you start picking up side hustles. I think we're gonna see a lot of that as well, but in a more free sense, the same way, like, not that COVID was good, but the way it kind of, I think, freed some people, where it's like, oh, I can work from home and do the same amount of work possible. Or, oh my God, I got let off my job, but now I'm making fresh bread and that's like my business, We're going to see a lot of like opportunities rise like that, where things are hand created, grown from the ground up. And I think that's going to be wonderful and amazing. We're going to see old media come back. Movies are making a big comeback recently. You guys know I love a fucking movie theater, but now more so than ever, I've noticed more people are like, theater, let's go to the theater for 8 hours a day. Like, fuck it, let's go see 3 showings in one day. I think we're gonna see a lot of people going to plays more often, like the ballet. I think we're gonna see more people going to art galleries, showing up in the art world in that sort of sense, and really giving back and giving forward to people who are masters at their craft. I think that's gonna be very exciting. Instead of like this AI slop that we're fed, I think people are getting sick of it, and sooner than I thought, which is really nice because I've been sick of it since the beginning. I feel like we saw a rise of health and wellness in 2025, but we're gonna see it like quadruple in 2026, where people are really focused on themselves, but not in a, I feel like 2025 was in a vanity way, especially with like the skinniness that we're seeing, and the just like complete drastic change of the body trends. And I hate to use that word because it's like disgusting, but that's just what it is it's a body trend. And oh my God, dystopian to even say out loud. We're gonna forget all about that, of just like, I need to be skinny. Like, no, people are gonna forget all about that. And I think people are gonna really focus on like, what does healthy look like to me? What makes me feel good good? What actually makes me feel strong? What is setting me up for success when I'm 70 years old? I think we're going to see a lot of like people going to like workout classes regularly, people going to yoga regularly, people showing up for like meditative breathwork classes, people really focusing on the foods they eat, but not in a like restrictive manner, more so in a let's cook whole, hearty, well-rounded meals. I don't think we're going to see a lot of fad diets in 2026. I think people are going to focus on like literally the food pyramid and like making sure they're eating whole foods. And I think that's going to be really amazing. I also think we're going to see a massive decrease in people eating out. I think a lot of people are going to be eating inside more often just because we noticed this trend in 2025, but like McDonald's lost about a third of their customers. And that has to do with, prices increasing, but also it's like you're paying $13 for a hamburger and that's people meat. That's not you. That's human meat in that hamburger. No, I'm kidding. But it's like, oh my God, mystery meat for $13. No, bitch. I'm going to go buy ground beef from the grocery store and make 8 burgers for $13. I think we're going to see that kind of like mental switch. And all of this mental switch, whether it's like health, wellness, eating, arts, community, it's a switch from being just collective to being individual, and a switch from just going with the flow to really being intentional. And a lot of that has to do with intuition. I think everybody's intuition is going to be majorly heightened this 2026. I think it's probably going to bring a lot of peace. I think it's probably going to bring a lot of chaos. But through intentional chaos and like intuitive chaos, the place you come out on top outside of that is a better place. Truly, if you create chaos intuitively, where it's like, I need to leave this person, I need to move, I need to, block this person, I need to quit my job, like intentional chaos, not like, oh my God, I'm going to be horrible, evil, awful. It's more so like, I'm going to blow up my life, but in a very strategic way. You always come out of those decisions on top. You always come out of those decisions stronger in yourself, more confident in yourself, and more trusting in yourself. And I think we're going to see a lot of behaviors act in that sort of direction. There's no more time for distractions in 2026. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's going to be very empowering and encouraging. And I cannot wait to see where it takes us. I'm really manifesting that, not only for myself, but also for you guys, because I feel like I spent a lot of 2025 anxious, unknowing, distracted, and kind of just lost and wandering. And I spent enough of my time lost in that fucking forest to be like, okay, now I'm fed up. There's no more time. Get it together. Let's like enjoy life, but also be intentional about life. And I'm very excited for that energy. It really has taken over my life these past couple weeks. And the more I give into it, the more I'm like, I don't want to go to yoga, but I'm going to. Let's be intentional. Let's be intuitive. I know I need to go, but blah, blah, blah. The better I feel about myself, the less that internal battle happens each time. And I'm excited to see where it takes us, because I think through that energy, you can really create some beautiful, beautiful things. When you are unabashedly unafraid and just like excited about living, there is truly no stopping what you can do. And I love that fiery, powerful, intuitive, beginning newness energy. It's going to be fantastic for us all. Speaking of dealing with these kind of crazy energies that we had in 2025, someone said, I have extreme anxiety and it's affected by everything. It's debilitating and I don't know what to do. You know what? I also was facing this kind of anxiety. Like I said, my cat got sick. I just didn't know what to do with myself. It was like OCD thoughts and tendencies because I felt out of control, and my way of regaining control was to kind of like freak myself out, do way too much research, overthink things. And I felt like I had a good grasp on my anxiety beforehand, where I was able to be like, oh, not real, not based in reality, don't need to worry about that. And I could just move on. But after I went through that journey, I could not move on. It was like perseveration station, and I just had to keep focusing on these fucking things that I knew were actually rotting my brain. Just not good for me at all, and I didn't know how to break out of the spiral. So after he got better and I felt like he was in a good place and I actually could focus on my anxiety, I started therapy. If you guys don't remember, I started therapy around my 26th birthday in June, and I did it for about 2 months. I did for 2 months until I realized this bitch kind of sucks and is not good at working with my anxiety. So quit that. Not that all therapists are going to be that way. Please, for the love of God, if you have anxiety, try a therapist. Yours will probably be better than mine. Mine was just like, I was like, girl, you're just talking about yourself the entire time, and I'm in my head freaking out. So anyways, it's okay to break up with your therapist. Maybe find a different one. Well, I kind of had to regroup, and I paused, and I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. Let me just like kind of try something else out. And I started going to yoga. A big part of yoga is not only movement, but also breath work and meditation. Okay. We are going to see a massive rise in meditation, which is going to be people trying to help self-soothe their anxiety. And it does self-soothe that anxiety. I'll tell you what, when I entered the yoga room and they're like, your to-do list will be waiting outside the door, but for 60 minutes, you're going to be here and you're going to be intentional about yourself. I'm like, oh, that's literally all you need to say to me. It really is that easy sometimes. It's like, bitch, those worries, those anxieties, they're going to be there. Don't worry. But you need to dedicate 60 minutes, 30 minutes, however long, to yourself, to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. Okay? You owe it to yourself. You're here. You made it to the class. You might as well just do it. Fuck it. Try it. You know? And of course, we're doing deep breathing exercises. We're doing slow movement, stretches, hip opening exercises, meditation. And I'll tell you what, at the beginning of those classes, when she's like, leave that shit outside by the door, I'm like, haha, yeah. Yeah, sure. I can just casually leave that shit outside by the door. Yeah. And then we get into it and I'm like, oh, actually 60 minutes flew by. I forgot all about it. And now I'm exiting the door and I don't even give a fuck that it's waiting for me because I'm in such a good place, mentally, physically stable, that I don't care about those problems anymore. Meditation and breath work have been a massive game changer for my anxiety. I also think we need to bring back meditation because like, with just any sort of like being on social media or being too involved in the online world, not me personally, as like, I feel like we have a really good community here, so that's not a problem. But like when you're consuming things, we see a lot of these people online that get angry about like the most random fucking things. Like you're arguing in a TikTok comment section for days on end. Please, for the love of God, meditate for 15 minutes and realize that shit does not fucking matter. Like at all. I think a lot of people nowadays, especially like with the high dopamine exchange of being on our phone, we also seek high dopamine exchanges in real life or in interactions online. And that causes a lot of negative interactions because the easiest dopamine to give into is a negative one. And yeah, you get a little, ooh, I'm excited, I'm angry, whatever, you know, it's a feeling that gives you a little bit of a dopamine hit, but then you realize, oh, wow, this is actually killing my soul. And I think we'd have a lot less of that if we all meditated a little bit more. We would realize, oh, wow, that shit does not matter. Does not matter. I don't give a fuck about Kenny or Karen in Kentucky. Okay, they don't have their front two teeth. Like, they have other problems they need to be focused on. And I'm not going to let myself get caught up with those fucking problems. Like, let me move on. If you are somebody who is like consistently bothered by the smallest things, easily irritated, easily pissed off, angry, maybe even just like very anxious, can't get out of your head, can't get like into your body, overthinking constantly, overindulging in negative thoughts or negative behaviors. I know it sounds silly and stupid, but it's not, because it works. Meditation, yoga, breath work, it will change your life. I'm not even kidding. I have been doing it for a little bit, not as long as like any of the people I'm around when I'm doing it. But the drastic effects I've seen on my life from simply doing it a couple times a week is just like, you can't deny it. You can't. Like I said, in 2026, I think we're going to see a lot of intentionality about the way we consume media, with what we're consuming, and with how we're going about it. And hopefully with that, we see a rise of meditation, a rise in like centering ourselves, a rise in balancing our nervous system and taking care of our nervous system. And we'll see a lot less random fucking conflict because of it. And truly, I'm just hoping and praying most people get on that bandwagon. But I'm speaking to you directly because I know a lot of you girlies here have a lot of anxiety because you are listening to the queen anxious bitch. If I can encourage you to try one thing is to practice meditation, practice some breath work. It can be at home for free. You can look up free YouTube videos. It could be in person. I mean, my yoga classes are like $5 for 60 minutes. Talk about a steal. Yeah. And I'm somebody who has a hard time like following along at home. I'm easily distracted. So I know I have to be in a place where I'm forced to focus. Phone outside the room. I'm surrounded by other people. So there's a little bit of peer pressure to like lock in. Beautiful music in the background, a little incense burning. It's like, okay, this is wonderful. You know, I'm actually focused. There's minimal things I can do at home. And I had to realize and come to the conclusion, working out at home, stretching, breath work, meditation, yoga, I have a really hard time doing it at home. And so putting myself into that third space and also just getting out of the house more often to do these things has been very, very good for me. And I highly recommend it. If you're going to pick up one hobby or activity, especially going into this next year, please practice some meditation. You won't give a fuck about anything. I'll tell you that, in a very healthy, unattached way, where it's like, we are who we are. Life is life, and life's worth living. But it's not worth being anxious 24/7 over. Another theme I talked about, someone said, I'm quitting weed. This is the hardest thing I've ever done, but I know I need to do it for myself. Very real. Yeah. But we're done with the distractions. We're done with the like unhealthy coping mechanisms and just like the dissociation. I personally am not done with the weed. But I am done with the alcohol, and I think I use alcohol the same way a lot of people unhealthily use weed or any sort of substances. And yeah, I think it really is just like something clicked in my brain. I think this is happening for a lot of people. At least a lot of the girlies on the Patreon are going through this, where it's like, this is boring. I'm over it. It's the same thing every single day. It doesn't make me feel good. It maybe makes me dissociate a little bit, but like, it's not good for me, and I don't feel good, and I'm just tired of running away from my problem. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I mean, let's get fucking real. I had a major alcohol problem this year. I really did. And not in a way where I was like waking up at 8 a.m. and drinking, but it definitely was like, I'm thinking about drinking at 8 a.m. Did I do it? No. Maybe a couple times if I was like going out to brunch with friends. But it was definitely like a compulsion, a desire and a need to run away from life, and a compulsion to do so through alcohol. I spent all summer with a full bottle of wine on my patio reading books. And at first it was like, this is cute. I'm reading and I have a glass of wine next to me. And then it's like, oh no, bitch, you just drank 2 bottles in one night. And you're going to do that again and again and again and again and again and again. And that is just, it just can't happen. Your liver's not happy. Your body's not happy. You're breaking out. You're bloated. You're swollen. You don't feel good. And at what cost? To get drunk and dehydrated and angry? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And so I took some time off. I did. I took about a month off where I just did not drink. And if I did drink, it was like, maybe I was out at dinner with a friend, and so I get like a cocktail. But outside of that, I was like, I don't know. And then it really was just like something snapped in my brain where I'm like, I don't crave it anymore because it makes me feel like shit. And it is kind of nice that we do have that. Well, some of us, hopefully you do too, but I have that rational side in my brain that's like, this is just not making us feel good, and we know that, and now it's kind of turning us off. I'm thankful to have that rational side of my brain instead of continuing down that path. But it's hard giving up something that's like a coping mechanism, good or bad, most likely bad, is hard. It's so hard to get rid of because it's kind of like a pacifier. And I'll tell you what, those 2-year-olds, they do not want to give up those fucking pacifiers. They don't. Whatever makes life easy, whatever soothes them, of course they don't want to give it up. Of course we don't want to give those things up, but we know we'll be better for it. I will say the best thing that really helped me, and I don't like engaging in shame, but I do think sometimes shame is healthy. And I do think maybe we should bring back shame internally in a way that's like good for us, where it's like, I'm going to shame myself if I'm doing something that's like actually embarrassing. And let me give you an example of what's actually embarrassing. Having to have a bottle of wine at the end of the night, every night. It really was, I was like, oh my God, Hannah, this is embarrassing. Like, it's embarrassing that you have to be drunk every single night. And it was kind of that like internalized shame of like my higher self shaming my lower self, but not in a self-depreciating way where it's like, I'm going to shame myself and then keep doing it and then shame myself and like put myself in a bad spiral. It was more so like, no, this is embarrassing. Wake up, get it together. And then I actually did. Like, it was like, no, I don't want to embarrass myself. Like, I don't want to embarrass my higher self, most importantly. And same thing with like when I went to Japan. I had some people who were like, how did you go a week without smoking weed? And I had to physically like tell myself, I was like, it would be embarrassing if I couldn't go a week without smoking weed. And I'd be lying to you if I wasn't there and like, a joint would really hit right now. But I had to keep reminding myself, like, it would be embarrassing if I couldn't go a week without smoking weed. And that kind of helped me stabilize myself in a place of like acceptance, to put myself in a place of like, okay, it's going to be hard. It's going to suck, but like, it's for the good of myself. It's for the good of my higher self. So I stop embarrassing myself. So I'm not a drunk, sloppy mess every single night. So I'm not needing to rely on substances to get through life or whatever. And if this is something you're feeling called to do, it is a fantastic internal challenge. And I highly recommend everybody do it. I mean, I smoke a lot of weed, as you guys know, but there's times where I'll be like, I'm going to take a year off. Yeah, like, it's just not good for me where I am right now and how I'm using it. So I'm going to take some time off. It's okay to do so. It's okay to take that break. And, you know, maybe in the future you can come back to it. Maybe. Who knows? But for now, you know what you need. You know what you need to get through it. And I think a lot of it comes from, if you're feeling that internal shame, making a decision to fix it. Making a decision to step into your higher self, to not be reliant on that thing. And it's going to suck. It's going to be hard at first. Your brain is literally going to be like a toddler throwing a tantrum. I want it, but I need it. It's like, yeah, sure. But also like, of course you want bad things for yourself, you know? Of course you want like that candy bar off aisle 8, but bitch, we're not getting that. We're not. We're going home. We're making dinner. Like, we don't have time for this shit. So I think accepting that it's going to be a challenge, it's going to be difficult, your brain's going to fight back against you, and being stable in a place of understanding where like it's going to be a challenge, but every day is going to be like one step closer to your goal. It helps just minimize that chaos that getting rid of a substance can bring, and also just puts you in a place of like goal setting and higher level achieving that makes just getting through the day easier. You know, A, it's embarrassing. B, but I'm moving on to something better. That combo, I feel like, is unstoppable. No matter how I'm feeling, no matter how bitchy I'm feeling, oh, I need a glass of alcohol. It's like, okay, embarrassing. Also, I don't. Let me level myself out. And now I'm looking forward to a better future where, actually, I don't need that thing. Oh, wow. Now I'm in a stable, more grounded place, and I feel good. I also think telling your friends and family what you're doing is very important. It'll help people like keep you on your goals. It'll also help your friends, you know, when they are smoking that joint, not text you and invite you outside, which doesn't mean they don't love you. It actually means that they do love you and want you to stick to your goals. Maybe it means, you know, they are not drinking excessively around you if you are not somebody who's drinking at that moment. Maybe it means, you know, they're just checking in every once in a while and saying, hey, how are you doing on this journey? I think it's important to have that community around you to keep you on track. Because sometimes when it's just me alone, I'm like, no one's going to know about this. And it's like, no, have some people to keep you accounted for and to keep you, on those goals that you want to set. But once you do it once, you realize how easy it really is. I think alcohol was the hardest because it was more compulsionary. Weed is fairly easy for me to give up just because I find that I'm able to distract myself pretty easily or stay busy. So those long periods of time where I'm trying to dissociate out of just don't happen as organically for me. But either way, if this is a journey that you want to take or something that you're feeling called to do, it's for a reason. And I think it is probably the strongest thing that you can ever do for yourself. Self-control is very important. Teaching yourself self-control is very important. It is necessary to becoming a well-rounded individual and a stable individual. And if you feel like you don't have self-control, I challenge yourself to try and remove one thing from your life. Maybe it's like, I'm going to give up. It's like Lent. Lent is a fantastic time that people just practice self-control, and not in like a bad, unhealthy way. Please don't do it in a bad, unhealthy way, but just in a way that's like, oh yeah, I can trust myself and I can do hard things. I think that's important. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to give up smoking weed. I'm going to give up alcohol. I'm going to give up refined sugar. I'm going to give up my iced coffees that I spend $7 on in the morning and make them at home instead. I'm going to give up eating out. I'm going to give up, I don't know, whatever unhealthy thing you want to do that you want to change. I challenge you to do it and do it for a month. You will come out of that month a completely different person. Can you, like, 1 month out of the thousands of months that you have in this fucking lifetime, you challenge yourself to 1 month of doing one thing, getting rid of one hard thing, or trying one new thing. You'd be surprised how far it takes you. And in the grand scheme of things, that's like time, that is such a little amount of time to commit to yourself, to commit to good things for yourself. Okay, please, January is a fantastic time to do so. I understand getting through the Christmas season, challenging, difficult. Girl, we all need our coping mechanisms. I understand. But come January, if you need a good refresh, good time to really challenge yourself to something, to get rid of something, to step away from something, to step into something, that is the time to do so. Dedicate 1 month to yourself. You'd be surprised just how close you get to yourself, just how much stronger you get, just how much trustworthy you get in yourself, and just how beautiful your life can become. From chaotic to clean girl, I'm ready to become a wife. Oh, okay. Well, let's take out the wife part and let's just focus on the... From chaotic to clean girl. Okay, so we had this whole trend. I feel like it was maybe this past year. I don't know. Time flies. Maybe it was 2024. The clean girl aesthetic. Oh my God. White walls, white gown. Bitch, you're locked in a hospital. Like, clean girl. That's just superficial and honestly mostly rooted in consumerism and like old Christian ideology of like the woman should be in the kitchen. It's giving like 1950s, and we don't have lithium anymore, so just not fair at all around for women. But I do think I've stepped into a place of like clean girl that I never thought I would be. But I think it's like the real true definition of clean girl, and it has nothing to do with the amount of dirt I'm covered in. It has nothing to do with the foods I'm cooking in the kitchen, and everything to do with being intentional about myself and my body. I think that's the real definition of clean girl. When I was in my chaotic girl era, it was like hair greasy, haven't showered in days, don't change my sheets. Like, yes, I was a mess. Yes, I was depressed. Yes, I was gross. Absolutely. Trash on the floor, fucking, like, who knows, dust bunnies following me everywhere I go. I just wasn't paying attention to myself, paying attention to what I need, paying attention to what makes you feel good. I was very dissociative in that way. And that felt like a very chaotic time in my life. And I realized, to step into this more like well understood version of myself, what we would consider a clean girl is getting intentional about what I'm doing. And I started with just getting intentional about products I'm using. Oh my God, is my foundation making me break out? Like, very simple questions. Is it good for me? If I put it on my face, is it going to make me feel worse about myself or better? Picking out a good shampoo that gets rid of my fucking dandruff and also treats my extremely oily scalp. Like, let's get intentional about what we're using and what we're using. And it's not just like the most trendy thing going on right now. It's like, no, I don't give a fuck about the trends. I give a fuck about what makes me feel good and what makes me feel like me. Scents. Then I moved into scents. Oh my gosh, a very specific perfume that really just encapsulates how I want to present myself. It makes me feel good, makes me feel put together. Clothing, literally getting rid of all the clothing I have. I took everything out of my closet and put every item on one by one. Does this item make me feel good? Does it feel comfortable? Is it something I'm going to wear often? Yes? Cool. You can hang it back up. No? Donate it. I donated like 18 bags of clothes. Yeah, that made me feel clean girl. Oh my God, I'm getting rid of things I don't need. Starting to take care of my body, stretching more, meditating, journaling, using tea in the morning instead of weed, cooking from home more often, allowing myself to, indulge in creative activities that I want to do. This is what to me feels like what the clean girl idea is trying to achieve. I feel like the clean girl idea is trying to achieve just like sense of individuality that feels real, that feels like you. Instead, it turned into a trend where everybody was following the same things, and that doesn't feel very clean girl when you're trying to be somebody else. It feels like you're wearing her fucking skin. That doesn't feel comfortable for anybody involved. But for me, it really just took a moment of like, okay, clean the slate, start small. What's bothering me the most? Oh, my acne. Okay, let's look at all of the ingredients I'm putting on my face. Let's change up that routine. Oh my gosh, a good hair care product, okay? Making sure I'm taking care of myself every day. Making sure I'm drinking enough water. Making sure I'm doing things that I feel called to do. I've never felt more myself, and in turn, I've never felt more like a quote-unquote clean girl. Even though maybe I present as maybe a more chaotic person, my internal world has never been so clean. Even my external world, my apartment, has never been so clean in my entire life. And I think that's what that trend was trying to achieve, and just simply put, couldn't, because we were all copying each other, and that's never going to make you feel good. Copying somebody is never going to make you feel good. Actually, let's talk about this next topic that's a little bit more inspiring than the whole clean girl idea, which is becoming interesting. I think we're going to see a rise of people becoming interesting in 2016. Okay, enough of the I'm following this trend, or I need to follow this person, or I need to do what she's doing. I need to do her exact makeup routine, blah, 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 blah. We are going to see people not living in each other's skin anymore, because we've seen a lot of that, especially out of COVID. I feel like COVID on to this point has been people like, okay, what do I need to, like, what recipe do I need to follow of somebody's personality because I admire them to become them, when in reality, that's making you lose yourself even more. No, we're going to see a rise of people becoming interesting because they're doing things that interest them. You want to be interesting? You want to be cool? You want to be the cool girl, the clean girl, whatever you want to fucking call it, whatever trending word is going on right now. Do things that you are interested in. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if what you're called to is I want to go collect rocks out of the river and drill holes in them and turn them into necklaces. I don't give a fuck if what you're interested in is like a very niche online card game. I don't give a fuck if what you're interested in is staring at a white wall. Like, I don't care. I do care that you do it. Yeah. I think me starting horseback riding lessons made me more interesting. And yes, I'm gonna literally beat the dead horse, whatever they call it, because it's made me feel more interesting. It's made me feel more confident in myself. It's made me feel more compassionate in myself. It's made me go after more things in my life, because I realized, oh wow, I'm sitting back and I'm going, I should do that, but not doing it. Literally for years, I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to start horseback riding lessons, and I would just go, oh, I should do that. Anyways, what can I scroll on my phone for 9 hours now? Let me go follow someone who actually does it. And instead of living my life, let me live theirs through my screen. I gotta make you interesting. But getting up and challenging yourself and doing the hard thing and putting yourself out there and going after what you're passionate about, no matter what, fuck being embarrassed, do it wholeheartedly, feel it with your soul, go after it. That's what's going to make you interesting. And especially like the niche weird things. I love somebody who's into like a weird fucking hobby where it's like, where did you even find that? It's like, how did you even hear about that? It's just so interesting. It makes you so drawn into them because it's like, oh my God, you are your true self. You are yourself. You're not afraid to be yourself because you're not afraid to do that weird activity, that weird thing. And I think we're going to see a rise of that where it's like no more time for, watching other people live their life and more time for us living our lives, us enjoying our lives and going out there and taking those risks and trying those things and picking up those hobbies and in turn becoming more interesting. And let me tell you this, the product that you're using, not making you interesting. The, newest shirt you bought, not making you interesting. The fucking Grinch meal at McDonald's, not making you interesting. You know what is making you interesting? That weird fucking hobby you're doing in someone's sweaty basement. Okay? Randomly getting into like Dungeons and Dragons. Something I've always thought about doing. Maybe I will. Who knows? Randomly picking up your paintbrush again and starting to paint. Crocheting. Learning how to metalsmith. Going to fucking HVAC school. I don't know. There's like so many different random things that we can do in this life. And I need you to be doing as many as possible. We're going to see a rise of crafting in 2026. Calling it now. And maybe that's because I'm doing it more often. But we're going to see a rise of crafting. Remember when it was like the videos like 6-minute crafts? And it's like, oh, I want to go try that. We're going to see a rise of crafting of people just getting into hobbies, getting into art, getting into creating with their hands, getting into being weird and not afraid to be weird. And in turn, I think it's going to make people more interesting. It's going to make us interact more in a public space rather than in an online space. And I think it's going to be beautiful and wonderful. And I cannot wait to see where it takes us. But if you are bored with your life, if you feel uninteresting, if you can't sit here and name 5 interesting facts about yourself, it's because we're not living life enough and you're not doing enough weird things. You're not getting weird and freaky enough, okay? And you can't be afraid to get weird. Like I was like, is horseback riding weird? Like, is it going to be odd for me because I've never done it before? I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want to do it. I want to try it. I want to put myself out there. Who knows? I could show up. I could hate it. That's okay. I can leave. I can go home and never come back. But I need to feel the desire to do it in my heart and do it, to follow it intentionally, intuitively. And guess what? It's changed my life. It's made me more interesting. It's made me more passionate. It's made me want to try new things, which is in turn going to make me more interesting, more cool, more chaotic maybe, but definitely more me. And that's what matters. I'm begging you guys, get more interesting. Try new things. Do weird things. Put yourself out there. Follow your heart. It's important. Because it kills me when I go up to somebody and I'm like, who are you? What do you do? And the first thing they answer is their job. I'm like, okay, like, that's not what I meant. But like, what do you do? Like, what makes you you? Like, your job isn't what makes you you. What makes you you? What do you do? Do you puzzle? Like, what are your hobbies? What are your activities? We had this new girl that I met and she was like, I was like, what do you do? Like, outside of here? And she was like, oh, I horseback ride and I read. I was like, yes, that's the answer I'm looking for. I love that. That makes me excited. It makes me more interested in you. It makes me want to ask you more questions. It makes me want to like bounce ideas off of you. That's the kind of interactions I think we're looking for, especially being over the phones, over the overconsumption, over that whole thing. And I think it's a good switch and I'm very excited to me personally lean into it more and hopefully see more people around me lean into it as well. Oh, sorry. This episode's a little bit ranty, but last episode was like fun, silly. So of course we have to balance it out with a ranty episode. It's just how it is, you know? Anyways, speaking of going into 2026, I feel like a lot of people are broke. And I laugh because it's like, yeah, I get it. But I also posted on TikTok and I was like, wow, I can't wait to go clock into my 8th job this week. And someone was like, do you really work 8 jobs? I'm like, yeah, I do. They're not 8 full-time jobs. So I have a couple full-time jobs, yes. But I am a side hustle girly. I am. I really am. And if you are not a side hustle person, I highly recommend doing it. Now, I would like to put a preface of Do not put a price tag on your hobbies. Your hobbies are meant to stay as hobbies. Okay? Please, for the love of God, do not sell your soul out to capitalism. If they happen to overlap randomly and you feel passionate about it, absolutely. Go ahead and follow through. But I once again preface, you do not need to put a price tag on your hobbies, and you do not need to pick up hobbies in order to put a price tag on them in the future. Okay, let's get clear. We don't have to market ourselves 24/7. Sometimes we can just have fun. And I think it's important to have things in our life that we do just for fun, because we can't live for money 24/7. Okay, anyways, let's talk about side hustles. What do I do? What can you do? How can you make a little extra cash this year? What do I recommend? Number one, any sort of part-time job. Anytime you have like free time and you're like, oh, I guess in the mornings I could be doing something and also I could use a little extra money. Okay, fantastic. Let's go work a shift at the library. Let's go pick up a random coffee shop gig. Let's go pick up a random gig at wherever is closest to you. Literally, sometimes all you have to do is open Google Maps, look about 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 6 blocks outside of you, depending on where you live. If you live in the suburbs, it might be more like 12 or 16. Look at all the businesses around you, all the businesses that look interesting to you. One that you're like, oh, I could devote, 24 hours a week, 36 hours a week to this place. Would be interesting. Who knows if they're hiring? Sending them an email of, hey, very interested in this. If you ever need help with anything, let me know. Here's what I'm good at. Here's what I've worked at in the past. Here's my resume. Sending you well wishes. All of a sudden, you're working a part-time gig in the morning at a print shop. All of a sudden, you're working front desk at a movie theater. All of a sudden, you're working part-time at a restaurant. You know? And those jobs you can hold on to and you can have for quite some time, especially if you're in the service industry. That's why, I'm still like unable to give up the service industry, because it's just like, I like money and it goes by quick, gets me out of the house. Is it the most ideal thing to be doing with my life? No. Do those paychecks hit? Yes, they fucking do. Do I have a lot of time to be doing it? Not really. Do I have some time to spare? Sure. It's like, I could be sitting at home doing nothing, but I'm going to go clock in at a random job instead. Sometimes the side hustles are the part-time jobs along the way. And I understand right now, job market, not great. But like I said, service industry, small business, the jobs that people quote unquote don't want to work will always be hiring, especially part-time. If you can devote just a little bit of time to those, you will have an extra, $500, $700, maybe $1,000 in your bank account every couple weeks. And that doesn't hurt. That really doesn't hurt. Hello. Okay. Those little restaurant paychecks, I'm like, let's go. Add that to the savings account. Add that to the whatever, Japan fund, wherever you want to go, whatever hobby you want to do. It doesn't hurt. Sometimes the side hustles are a part-time gig, whether it's 1 day a week, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is. Having that little extra cash in pocket is so nice to have. Now, outside of working at what would be considered a real job, giving you a W-9, all right, let's talk actual from home side hustles. Selling your clothes. Yeah, I know all of you guys are sitting on a gold mine right now, whether it's you think you are or not, but purging your closet, even shoes, hats, purses, trinkets, books, planters. I have bought off of Depop. Sometimes I'll buy little cute little trinkets, little cute little framed things, artwork, magazines, random books. Someone will be like, oh, I'm selling this sketchbook that I've never used. Anything you have that you don't need, you can sell online and make $5 off of it. That's $5 more than you had before. Okay. But especially during the winter, this is a fantastic thing to do, because not only does it purge your life from the unnecessary things, but also it gets you a little extra cash in the bank. Okay. Selling those old clothes, listing them on Depop, and no, you don't have to list them for $80. You can list it for $5 just to get rid of it and just to make sure it sells. It's like garage sale prices. Sometimes you got to have a little garage sale online. Okay. Make your money, get out of there. Do you like animals? Rover, any sort of dog walking. Oh, I can show up to your house twice a day, feed your cats. I can show up and do this, ABC. I like working with animals. Maybe not where they come over to your house, because I've heard horror stories of like people being like, yeah, can you watch my pet for a week, and then never coming back for it. That's spooky. That's scary. But like maybe going over to other people's houses, walking their dog during the day. Like I worked with my old restaurant manager, and she had a dog walker come by every single day. And that was an extra, what, like $60 in that person's pocket every single day to walk the dog. Like that's a good amount of money. That's a good amount of money, okay? Random side hustle, but if you love animals, fantastic. Go walk some dogs in the afternoon. Go get your steps in, babe. And you have a cute little animal to accompany you. Oh, there's nothing better. If you have any sort of skill, I do think you can always freelance. There's apps like Fiverr or even just Etsy, creating things that you know people will buy. Whether it's like, oh, I'm going to make t-shirts, oh, I'm going to make planners, oh, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that. I'm going to outreach to different companies if they need logo work. Maybe it's like, you know, bookkeeping. If you're good with computers, there's always small little gigs you can find online through like freelance apps. And maybe it's not like a lot of money at once. Maybe it's like $0 this month, and then like a lot of money this month, and then $0 the next month. You know, who cares? At least you're putting yourself out there and trying. It's a good resume builder, and also it's good to keep up that practice and those tools that you do have. Even like virtual assistants, you can always find gigs like that, depending on how much time you can give out. But freelancing is a great option. Bitch, if you're smart, tutoring, okay? Tutor other students you're around, write their papers for them, wink wink. Don't actually do that, that might get you kicked out. But like, tutor them, show up, be like, oh, hey, $10 study session. Like, I'll focus on quizzing you, you know, for 30 minutes. I would pay $10 for that. Are you kidding me? Like, sometimes it's so hard to quiz yourself or focus on like what you need to do when you're alone. So like working with your peers and working with people around you to do so, fantastic. That could even be like freelance writing. I know so many of these like recipe people, cooks online who have freelance artists or writers who write their entire blog posts for them. Yeah, like if you're good at something, there is a niche market for it. Like I said, don't sell your soul. But, you know, there's always a way you can make a couple extra bucks off of it. Maybe you're good at social media and editing, okay? Clipping content, making short form videos, making TikTok videos for people, editing and uploading it for people, social media management. Maybe it's like, okay, I don't have skills, but I have a car. Okay, let's go drive Uber or like Uber Eats at the end of the day for just like an extra $60, $70, sometimes like upwards of 150. You know, there's little things you can do that if you're like, it doesn't feel like I'm selling my soul, but also it's like I have a little bit of time, you can make a good amount of money off of it, you know? And if it happens to be your crafts, then that's fantastic. You know, baking goods and selling them to people at school, at work, making like breakfast burritos and showing up and selling them to people at work. Somebody at my boyfriend's work makes fresh juices and brings them in and sells them to people at work. Farmers markets, baking your goods and showing up to farmers markets with them. Making sure, you know, you're keeping that passion and spark alive within yourself, but also like able to make some money off of it. Why not? Maybe it's your paintings. You sell your paintings. You sell your crochet work. You sell, you know, refurbished clothing. You start tailoring clothing for your friends. You're like, oh, your pants don't fit, bring them here. I'll fix up those pants. I'll patch that hole. If you have the time and you have the space and you have the passion, I highly recommend picking up side hustles. Like I said, I work like pretty much 8 jobs. I'm not even kidding. Are they all like 100% of my time? No. Like I said, those paychecks do be hitting different. They do. Especially a couple $100s can really make or break you, especially on like a hard month or like a December month when you're buying so many gifts. It's like, yeah, who am I to turn down money? Who am I to turn down opportunity? And I get being like tired and not wanting to like sell your soul to constantly having to work. I don't think you should do that at all. But I do think we're going to see a rise in side hustles in 2026 where it's like, a lot of people are doing a bunch of different little things for their main source of income. And I think that's really interesting. And also it makes your life a little bit more sporadic and interesting. You got to hustle a little bit more. You got to be a go-getter, you know, But also it kind of keeps you on your toes, keeps you constantly like working forward. And for me personally, I'm such a side hustle girl. I'm not somebody who can work full time in an office building 24 hours a day. It's just not who I am. If you can do that, props to you. I wish I could. I think my life would be a lot simpler in a very like stable way. But I'm the kind of person who's like, no, I do want to work 4 or 5 small jobs. And I think that just brings a lot more diversity to my life. I think it challenges me more. And it's just who I am. It's just how I approach the world. I can't help it. I've always been this way. Even in high school, it's like, okay, let me go write this paper for somebody and then bake these goods and bring them to school and sell them. And then also I'm going to go work for the student newspaper. And then I'm going to like make people fake IDs and make some money. And then also I'm going to go be a 2-year-old teacher. And then also I'm going to go be a private assistant for a psychologist a couple days out of the week. It was very random, very sporadic. I think it very much so set me up for the kind of adulthood life I live right now. But yeah, I'm pro side hustle. And even just adding one side hustle to your usual routine, that amount of money can be life-changing. Just like a little extra cushion, you know, in your savings account. It really doesn't hurt. And also it kind of just broadens your horizons and kind of opens your life up to maybe new things, new opportunities, trying new things out. It never hurts. Never hurts. Anyways, enough of my ranting. I feel like this has been a big ranty episode and mainly an episode of like my ins and outs for 2026. So we're going to end this episode with my ins and outs bullet point list for 2026. Obviously, we've talked about the big focus issues such as like outs being overconsumption, consuming blindly, or outs being distractions of any sort, outs situationships. Okay, what are we? Relationships, people pleasing, maybe like drugs and alcohol, that's your out. Your phone being a distraction, any sort of distraction that's around you. There's no more time, babe. The clock is ticking. There's no more time for distractions, but in yourself, being focused on yourself, being focused on your intuition, major in listening to your intuition and going after it. I think there's a lot of fear sometimes behind listening to your intuition, but I think following it, sometimes even following it blindly, does have beautiful outcomes if we learn to listen and understand ourselves. So I think a major in all caps for 2026 is intuition. Listening to your heart, listening to your soul, listening to your spirit. Listening to that voice in the back of your head that feels calm and grounded and following that, because the fear and the anxiety and the worry will always be there no matter what choice you make. So you might as well follow the calm voice in your head. Outs, sitting around, waiting. There's no more time for waiting, bitch. Get up, go live your life, do those hard things, accomplish those goals. The only person holding you to them are you. So you better be your number one cheerleader, okay? You remember when you were a kid and it would be like you're racing somebody. It's like randomly you're like, I'm going to race you to the end of the street. And those races were so serious. It's like, no, this is life or death situation. I need to run as fast as I possibly can. And the way that your legs would carry you, where it felt like almost you were flying, you were moving so fast. Like your legs were disconnected from your hips and you were just moving so incredibly fast. By the end of it, you were winded, you were tired, but you felt good, you felt airy, you felt light. That's the energy I'm taking into 2026. Running as fast as I can towards that end goal. No fears, nothing holding me back. Actually, some fun to do with it. Not like a scary race, like a fun race where you're racing your childhood friend down the street. That's what 2026 is going to feel like. So allowing your legs to move as fast as possible. Painting, the arts, going to shows, going to plays, going to the theater, going to museums, looking at old art, looking at new art, ballets, supporting local theater, supporting local bands, going to small little shows. Those are going to be majorly in this year. I think we're going to see more community events. I think that's a big in. where it's like sip and paint or smoke and paint or show up and meditate or $5 yoga or, yoga in the park or journal with the girls and have tea. I think we're going to see a lot of community events like that pop up more so than ever. And I think it's going to be amazing. And I think you should go to those things. Absolutely. I think we're going to see from like the influencer perspective, less people being like, you need this thing, you need this item changed my life and it's only $60, so go buy it now. I think we're going to see way less of that. And I think we're going to see more so people sharing how they live their lives, whether it's like, here's my tea tray in the morning, or come to yoga with me. Let's do some breath work. Let's bake cookies. I think we're going to see more things like that. And I think we're going to see a lot of crafting. I think crafting is going to be very in, whether it's like, I'm going to do mosaic tiling, or I'm going to do crocheting, or I'm going to do painting. We're going to see a lot of crafts. I'll tell you what, I went to Hobby Lobby. I know. It was the only thing open. And that place was fucking full. There were so many people in there shopping for the most random crafts ever. And I was like, I love seeing this. I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see solo trips. I think we're going to see a lot of solo trips. People not afraid to go do things alone. People putting themselves out there. People tired of waiting to live their life and going after their life no matter what. I think we're going to see a lot of random hobbies and people telling you about their random hobbies that maybe you're not interested in at all, but it's going to be interesting to hear about. I think that's going to be amazing. Being interesting is going to be back in 2026. I think journaling is going to have a higher appreciation than it ever has been. A lot of like internal work while also practicing external work of just being a good person. I think we're going to see a lot of calmness and understanding this next year. Fuck, I'm praying for it practically. But outs, confrontation, leaving yourself behind, surface level love for yourself, for anybody else around you, not going after your goals, not going after your intuition, polyester. McDonald's is going to be out for sure. Any sort of like fast food, cheap place that you're spending the same amount that you could spend at the grocery store, I think is going to be majorly out. I think we're going to see a lot of these like big chain restaurants maybe go out of business. And also I think we're going to see less spending. I think people are going to be spending less but doing more, and I think that's going to be really good for everybody involved. I think we're going to be a little bit more self-centered in 2026, but not in a self-centered way that I think 2025 was, where everybody was against each other, and more so in a way where it's like, my peace is so strong that I don't wish harm on anybody else. And also, like, if anybody tries to harm me, they just can't, because bitch, I'm chilling over here. I think it's going to be a really unbothered and focused time in the year. I think it's going to be very passionate and fiery and energetic in a very calm and cool, collected way. I think it's gonna be very inspiring for all of us. I think it's exactly what we need. It's something that it's an energy I've been chasing after and trying to hold on to all of 2025 and just didn't stick. And I'm really hoping it sticks 2026, because I think it's a really good restart, a really good refresh, and a really good like rebalancing of our lives. So I ask you here today, here's your homework. Pen, paper, are you ready? If 2026 you were reborn, okay? And not brand new, but with the same understanding you have in yourself, with the same lessons you have in yourself. If the slate was wiped clean, but you still had yourself, what would you do differently? No sort of anything holding you back. No financial obligations. Like, truly in your deepest heart, what would you do differently? How would you start this year? Where would you be living? If there's nothing holding you back, what would you be doing? Who would you be with? What job would you be working? Literally write these things down. It could be a bullet point list. It could be like a long worded answer. Who cares? Those are the things you need to be focused on. Yeah. Oh, if they didn't judge me, I'd be doing this. Go do it. Oh, I've always wanted to live here, but I'm just too scared to leave my hometown. Go do it. Oh, but this relationship isn't good for me, but it's just like, it's comforting. Leave that person. Oh, but it's too late. I should have gone to college, but I never did. Go to college. Like, if you had the slate wiped clean and you were given a new opportunity to start over with everything you know now, what would you do? That's what you need to be focused on this 2026. So write those things down, get your vision clear, set your good intentions, dedicate your time to yourself, your desires and focus on your intuition, and you will be unstoppable. Hopefully this is a little bit more of like an inspiring episode, a little bit more of a grounding episode. I don't know. I'm literally about to go to yoga. Maybe that's why I'm in more of like a esoteric kind of focused on the details mindset right now. But I'm very excited, and I'm really trying to garner some hope and inspiration in myself and hopefully in you guys for this next upcoming year, because 2025 really fucking tried me. It really did. And now I'm realizing there's no more time to waste. We must do everything our heart desires. The only person holding us back is ourselves. With that being said, if you want to hear more from me, join the Patreon. They keep this podcast going. Thank you to my Patreon girlies. Truly, honestly, deeply, wholeheartedly, I love you guys so much. Come join patreon.com/smokesashshotty. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I just did a rose toy giveaway. Girl, if you need some self-care, get yourself a free rose toy. Yes, the suction is crazy on those fucking things. And YouTube videos coming back soon. That's another big goal of mine in 2026 is one YouTube video a week. So stay tuned for that. Setting goals, doing my breathing routines, doing my yoga, staying true to myself, and hopefully we come out on top of this next year. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!